All right, what's up, everybody? I know it's just us three. Yay! It's gonna be so good. I know everybody's lives are so hectic right now, so I'll just throw that out there. We're gonna do something that everybody liked from the last meeting. We'll do some icebreakers. So, Mom, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's see which one you get.
Stop. Oh, just kidding.
Let's see. What is a simple holiday tradition you like?
Ooh. Christmas and grape leaves.
Mmm.
Yeah.
Solid. That one is really good.
So that's just our own family. Most people don't have that, but we do.
Yeah, true that. All right, Rob, you get to go next.
Send it.
You get. Who is the most interesting Disney character?
Oh, wow.
I'm not even a Disney fanatic.
That's
Um,
awesome.
I
Uh,
maybe Pinocchio.
oh, that's
Oh,
a good one.
okay. Yeah, that is a good one.
I think that's yeah, the wooden toy turned into a boy. I like it.
Yeah,
Good lesson.
right. I like that. All right, I'll go next.
And I love the Wheel of Names. I use it when I'm teaching online all the time, and I call it the Wheel of Death.
That's awesome.
Like if you're not going to participate, we're going to take out the Wheel of Death.
Oh
Oh,
boy, that's awesome. Show us your phone background. Oh, let's see.
that's cool.
Let's see. I don't know if I can actually show you. Um, I don't know if you can see this. Probably not. I'm trying to get out of the way. I know I have too many apps, but it's me. There's my face right there, next to the Capitol building.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I took a really nice selfie while I was at the Capitol with Mill Creek Business Council, and it
Here's
was it
my.
was
Oh,
super
you
fun.
can't see it.
Oh, I
Oh,
see
it's a
that.
little puppy.
It's a puppy.
I'm waiting for you to buy a dog, or
Uh,
rescue one.
I've got
Not yet.
my phone rotates the pictures.
Oh,
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's us about ready to fly.
cool.
Nice.
Daughter, our airplane in the background.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Well, tonight's agenda is going to be short, but I wanted to get it out there. Obviously, it's exciting to introduce Rob to everyone here. Since I am recording it, of course, I'm going to send it out to everybody on the staff that is business partners. So for you, Rob, we incorporated to a C Corp last year, like in April-ish timeframe, sold off some shares, brought on some business partners, and now we have probably 8 or 9 people on the board, or whatever you want to call this setup, I guess. And so it's exciting for me to, one, introduce you to everybody on the team, and then obviously just to show you to my mom, since she's the only one here live. But like I said, everybody else will watch this later. So, Rob, if you wouldn't mind just giving us a little bit of your background. I know people have watched the podcast episode where I get to kind of talk about you, but it's good to have you here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my name's Rob Wood, and I'm a realtor in Florida, and I've been in the real estate game for 20 years or so. Began working real estate in North Carolina opposite of my military job, and that's where TJ and I met. So, lots of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Did really well in North Carolina and operated a small business along with my real estate firm for a while. So was working erosion control and hydroseed and cutting subdivisions with developers while I was selling houses, which is a great partnership, by the way.
That is awesome.
So that worked out until the market crashed. And in 2008, my wife was a mortgage broker and I was in real estate, and 100% of our livelihood went away kind of overnight. So
Mm-hmm.
went back to school, got an MBA in finance, and had to go get a real job and worked logistics for a couple of years. Realized I hate retail and never ever want to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
But my passion really has been education, kind of my whole life, education and training.
Mm-hmm.
So got the MBA with the sole focus of getting into higher ed and specifically working from home. So over the last 14, 15 years or so, I've been in education and training, both in higher education and working for a government contracting firm as a contractor and a project manager, supplying leadership and organizational development services to the government, like executive coaching and course design and professional facilitation services and that kind of stuff. And I still do some consulting on the side with some coaching and course delivery. But right now, my full-time income comes from Western Governors University, where I'm a senior manager, and I lead about 120 to 130 faculty members, depending on the day.
Mhm.
I take care of 2 MBA programs and 2 undergraduate programs, specializing in healthcare and in IT. Just recent, I've always had my real estate license in Florida, and I've sold 2 or 3 houses a year over the last 10 years, just kind of
Mhm.
away here and there. But I'm getting to the point where I've got about 3 years left of full-time employment,
Mhm.
and I want to build a brand and really dive kind of head first into real estate here, because I'll be in a good financial position to do that and feel like I won't be repeating what happened in 2008. I feel like the market conditions are going to warrant that. So I'm just building a brand from scratch, as a matter of fact, and just doing all the basics to do that. So I appreciate you asking me to come.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Something that I always love about you is the education and training is stellar. Something for everybody that will watch this eventually is that when I was working for Rob, our doc had the most fun and like flawless inspections all the time, and it was just amazing to work around your leadership style for one, and to see you kind of mold some of these rugrats, of my compadres or whatever you want to call that.
You guys were kind of a rough group. It was
there was some rough.
Right.
There was some, yeah, for sure. It was a good time. And so I guess for the rest of the team and whoever will watch us later, Rob's going to help us try to find something out there. And lately we've actually got a drip campaign that's got homes that are coming to my email. And hopefully we'll find something that the company wants to pull the trigger on. And we'll have Rob on the boots to the ground over there, so we can actually have somebody that we trust and get something inspected, and utilize his skills and his just amazing expertise in the real estate market to find something that we really want for the company that can set us up. So I'm excited for that partnership, obviously. And then I know we've kind of spitballed a little bit about trying to launch some training stuff, because we have a training platform and a portal, but I'd love to kind of dive into that a little bit in the future. And then I've always kind of thrown out that it'd be kind of cool to do a franchise, so that I have to fly to Florida and play golf. I mean, lead teams or something or whatever,
It'd be fun, and I am game for kind of what that future would hold too. I'm currently with Real Broker because the split's good, and I don't need supervision. I've been
Right.
doing it long enough. I don't really need a lot of help.
Mm-hmm.
But long term, I really kind of want to be a serial entrepreneur here. So I think 3 years in the market working it. So to be honest, my student loans get written off in 3 years.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah.
So it's worth about $100,000 for me to stick out the next 3 years.
Right. Wow, that's cool.
So that will afford me the opportunity, and then okay, well now we can take some chances and do some other stuff. So.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I love that just the way you are an entrepreneur and just the mindset that you have. I'm excited to see where that goes.
Me too.
All right. Well, one day we'll actually find something that we'll pull the trigger on. But I want to move to this kind of number one company goal. And my mom and I have been talking a lot about what we see with the company. And we have always racked our brains about how to really kind of lead people to success. And Fitness Realty as a company has done really well in finding people that are kind of built differently and, maybe are into sales and actually can get them to drive to success. But like I said, we've kind of racked our brains about how to continue to do that. And I read a book called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, and then I'm halfway through another Arbinger book that's called leadership and self-deception.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that both of those together have been like phenomenal. And so I've really kind of started thinking about what is the number one goal that we could say for the company, and what does that look like to tell people on our team as business partners. So like this meeting, and then the team meeting that we have on the front side of this, which is like the Monday before and the Monday after, for the staff. What are we going to tell them that can be our number one priority, um, so that everybody can kind of really get on board with that? Because what I found is, reading both these books or listening to them, we've done a really great job of value proposition. What are we providing them? But we really haven't encouraged people to say, what are they bringing to the table to help us grow the brand? And I know sometimes that feels kind of selfish, but at the same time, I'm like, if we're not operating as a team, and Rob can be a very key component to this, is because when I watched our team phase F-15s, now looking back, because I wasn't like in leadership or anything, I was just trying to like not get hydraulic fluid all over me every single day. But at that time, I saw leaders that I wanted to emulate, and I saw how it could be done. And now later on, while we're in this company, and I'm seeing how we've done it for the last 5 years, and it's been exceptional, like we've grown. But now I want to go next level, and I think next level is one singular goal that everything fits under, that everybody knows. And I don't know what that is. I've kind of spitballed with my mom a couple of them, which and with Zach, another guy on our team, that could be a potential, try to push us to become a national brand, and that's the main focus, or get us recognizable in Utah, which is kind of small thinking, except for, I mean, Utah is massive for real estate, so it's not super small, but it's also not something that we can leverage across different states and across different franchises if we move towards something like that. So the main focus here is, I don't want to, we'll probably not come up with number one company goal tonight, of course, but we could potentially just start talking about it. And so I know I've done like a lot of words to just throw it out there and start the conversation, but what do you guys think about that? Maybe we'll start with my mom.
Oh, the company goal. I mean, the discussion we had the other night about, I think accountability for for our agents and the staff coming on board, and then how are they giving to us? What is that going to look like? I don't know. We're kind of at an impasse on some of it. Sometimes when we can't motivate as fast as or as much as we want them to be involved. And so what's going to help them really come and jump right in and be a part of everything? I'm not sure where we're at. So I'm still thinking,
Gotcha.
it's been a
Yeah,
5-year, we've been doing that the whole time, try this, try that. But something's going to really, I think it's going to come out eventually.
yeah.
So
What
Rob's
about,
thinking.
yeah,
He's thinking.
what about you, Rob? Any ideas?
Yeah, I have lots of ideas, but I don't know if you'll want any of them.
Sure.
I think of goals differently than you're probably thinking of it. So what works for me is first thinking about what is our. So do you already have a defined mission statement
We do have one, yeah.
and a defined vision statement?
We do have one. Yeah, I don't love either one of them just because I've never really latched onto those things.
So whatever your mission is where you need to start from first, because that number one goal
Hmm.
should be feeding into that aspirational mission that you're trying to accomplish, and they should be linked, inextricably linked. That
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to break them apart. So
Let me pull that up. I want to read those to you.
Yeah, so I want to decide which one's which to become a stronger version of yourself. Which one is that, TJ?
Don't quote me on that because I don't know.
yeah, and
Okay.
I'm not trying to muddy the waters. It's just when you think about your number one goal, if you're
Hmm.
not linked there, and then really
Oh,
building intrinsic value through it, it's difficult to say this is our number one thing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. No, I totally agree with that. And this is why it's really good to kind of do this stuff is I I know how to do sales, but I'm not that super good at making all these other fine details and tweaks, I guess.
Well, leadership and organizational development's been my wheelhouse for like eons. So
Right. This
that's
Is there a book that you would recommend, Rob, that would really hit on? I would love to read.
well, on building mission, vision, value statements, and then goal setting. Can't think of one off the top of my head. Now, this one, it's not a good parallel. It's not the same thing, but politics, silos, politics, and turf wars by Patrick Lencioni is it's a leadership fable about a consultant that goes in to help companies fix things. And in that book, there's a model for workshopping this stuff.
Mm.
And that model is companies work best under pressure and when there's a crisis.
Mhm.
So rather than waiting for a crisis to happen, you basically are deciding what your crisis is and what is our identity and what is the biggest hole that we need to fill now in order to move our business forward. And then how do you act with a group of executives to come together? And regardless of position, how do you work together to tackle that? So it's more of a mindset towards everyone's an executive and problem solver and empowered to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it sets up this kind of, so we use it for tenants. I base all of my meetings every week on this kind of model of keeping the main thing the main thing. And if everything we do isn't supporting this one short-term thing that we're working on, then why is it something that we're working on at all? So it's a good book. It's a fable. I like it, but it kind of fits into this.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So mission, provide the best real estate services through client and agent growth, encouraging you to become the strongest you.
Mm-hmm.
How would you quantify that? Not that you need to put numbers at it, but how do you know if you got there?
Not sure.
Well, when we break it down with per client or who we've worked with, client, customer, and we give them the benefit of what the mission is, the mission statement, then we could probably go back and figure out some numbers if that's what you're asking.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be quantifiable, but you got to be, how do you know, like a mission is aspirational and it's something you may never get to, like something that you may never really attain, but that's what I'm sorry, I got these backwards. Your vision is about it's very, very aspirational about where you want to be. Your mission, I think your mission works, but I would want to know, how do you know if you've actually delivered on your mission?
Right. Well, there's something. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say there's in that Dysfunctions book, they talk about sports a lot, and they find that on teams in sports, it's very simple to know what the mission was because you either won or you didn't win, and you have a scoreboard that says you're 7 points behind or whatever. And in business, we don't really have that as much, and that's why, I think when I really think about Fitness Realty as what I think we could grow to would be a national recognizable brand, and that might be the vision per se, and maybe everything the mission leads to that. But right now, the quantifiability of the mission part right now, we don't really have a good one, and
it may not be perfectly quantifiable, but you need to know if you're meeting what your core mission is. Like your mission is what you're not willing to sacrifice.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I wonder, like, if let's just say hypothetically, we use the Vision as nationally recognized brand or national brand, just to make it short. What would be a mission that would go into that to make it so that everybody understands what the drive is? I guess because I'm still confused. Like, is it like everybody sells, or I don't know, or everybody likes, shares, and comments on a post?
I don't know. I don't know that what you've got started in your mission isn't. I don't think what you have there is incorrect.
Yeah.
Right.
But how would you, like, the word that sticks out to me is best,
Oh yeah.
right? Like, you're
Totally.
providing the best. Well, how do you define what's best?
Yeah. True.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's about protecting your clients. It's providing the best possible value.
Right.
Is it about providing the most, not the most equity, but the most value and money value to your clients?
Right.
Is it about
Well,
their?
and encouraging you to become the strongest you has always been something that stands out when we explain this to people, that a client can receive a commission break or money back in their pocket if they agree to do something that they become stronger at. Whatever it is, like drinking more water, exercise, or it's not, because they always ask, what is fitness about? And they're realizing it's not just about being physically fit, having the muscle. It's anything that goes along with having a stronger body.
Mhm.
So encouraging you to become the strongest you really is about their development,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Hmm.
So if you're saying, okay, what is our number one goal? Like, I think if you're becoming a national brand, right?
Mhm.
That's a big, hairy, audacious goal.
Mhm.
Then you start breaking down what are the sub steps does it take to become a nationally recognized brand, and then you start working individual project goals,
Mhm.
individual projects that lead up to that, and then you may have one thing you're working on as an organization for a limited time, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, a year, no more than a year,
Mhm.
one thing at a time that feeds into that vision, that end state, so
Mhm.
that if you're all laser focused on these are the steps that we want to take, this is the order we're going to take them in, this is how we're going to be held accountable, and this is how it feeds into our larger mission. Now you're
Mhm.
this intrinsic value from the ground up. So if you're saying, what's my number one goal? Well, your number one goal today might be different than your number one goal 10 months from now.
Yeah.
Okay.
True. Yeah, I like that. I think something that popped into my mind during what you said is breaking it down would look like possibly a franchise in every state, right? Like hunt out brokers in every state, Um,
And see, that's a viable statement, right? Having
right.
having a fitness realty representative in every state in our nation,
Hmm.
uh, and then what is the value that that's going to bring? It's going to
Right.
bring substantial development and those things to those agents and the people that they're in contact with. It should be intrinsically motivating as a vision statement. Like,
Yeah.
how am I connected to that?
Yeah, I like that. Would if you looked at it, would the ultimate vision be national brand, and then the mission breakdown would be franchise in every state?
Mm-hmm.
I
How
don't.
to
I
get
don't.
there.
Your mission is about who are you serving, right?
Oh, okay.
Your vision statement is about who do you want to become.
Gotcha.
So who are you serving?
We're trying to serve every buyer and seller in all residential real estate.
And our agents to
But
get it there, right?
so your agents,
Yeah.
right? Your agent, your support staff, and your clients, and through residential real estate transaction, because
Hmm.
your vision statement should have some of that detail in there about being residential and things like that too. So if you just encapsulate vision is where we're headed, mission is who we serve, and then what are the goals that are going to be in alignment? What are the steps that we're willing to take to get to that vision statement?
Let's see. This mission was, who do we serve? Agents.
Staff and clients, support staff.
Okay. What else did you say right after that? I just want to make sure I put it in here so I can.
I don't know. Who do we serve? Yeah, agents, support staff, and clients, and you mentioning the residential real estate stuff. Like,
Oh yeah.
Right.
this is the market. This is our bread and butter.
Gotcha.
And having that really focused mission statement will help you from getting. So now you're going to have people that come in and are like, hey, I really want to do this commercial thing, or hey, I'm really wanting to do this whatever. That it'll help you to narrow. Is that something that's in the portfolio? Are we ready to do that? Do we have goals against that?
Right.
Now you can benchmark against what you're actually doing.
Right.
Gotcha. No, I love that because we did property management for a little while and I hated it, so we dissolved that. And then I have had in some of the interviews for agents to come on board, they are like, I really want to get into commercial, and I'm like, I really don't teach that. I mean, you could if you want to, but most of the time you're going to do some homes first, figure that out, and then we can go do commercial maybe, but we don't really teach that.
Specific to residential real estate is probably the key, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
I think that's what, like Rob said, that's our bread and butter. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
we've been doing the last
Don't
5
limit.
years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. Well, we'll like continue to kind of ponder about that because I like that a lot. That's the wrong file. There we go.
I just ran so I totally cheated here. I'm gonna go to the chat. So I have been using AI for lots of stuff lately.
Oh, nice. Some Chat GPT.
So I just requested a 4-sentence compelling mission statement for a real estate firm that wants to ultimately provide development opportunities to agents, staff, and clients.
Nice.
Wow.
That's awesome. Oh, only part of it came in, but it like clipped the last sentence maybe.
By understanding and exceeding.
Oh yeah, it wasn't there.
Here, let me try it a different way.
Man, going to Chat GPT, that's something I didn't
Isn't
even
it
think
great?
about. Yeah.
I was gonna, yeah.
Where is it? Rapidly evolving industry. I'll put the rest of it in there. By understanding and exceeding our clients' expectations, we aim to create lasting relationships and contribute to their personal and financial development. Together, we'll unlock the full potential of real estate, empowering individuals to thrive and achieve their dreams.
Nice. Dude, that's what we need right there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right. I mean, but it's just an idea of, is that, and then think about the people that you're working with and working for you, and is that a mission they can get behind?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I think those are some valuable points to really kind of think about, because we do this meeting once a month for the business partners. So what I like is we'll be able to have time for people to see this, review it, think about what their inputs are, and potentially text it to me, I guess, or maybe call me.
You're never going to ask me to come again.
What?
I said you're never going to ask me to come again.
What?
No, you can totally come to all of them. That's what I mean. Like, I want you here. But you might get too busy. That's just the name of the game. We usually get people on and then they don't show up. Let's see. All right. Well, I appreciate the input there.
Well, so if you were to say, okay, well, what would be my number one company goal to attain our mission to becoming a nationally recognized real estate provider? What would be your first step? What's the first thing you have to accomplish in that?
I don't know about the very first. I know that making connections with more people outside of Utah, that's That's a goal of mine. It's super hard to make connections except for like you, and then there's a guy on our staff that's in West Virginia
So,
or Virginia.
but what about you? You created the C corp. That was a good step, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you got the C corp in place.
Mm-hmm.
Developed. I mean, you can go look and find franchising language from
Mm-hmm.
other firms and figure out what are the what does the setup need to look like, and legally what do we have to have in place if we were ready to drop something. So you
Mm-hmm.
get that from a regulatory and legal perspective and start getting things ready so
Mm-hmm.
that you have manual set up, training environment set up. Like you could start building all of the infrastructure that it takes, not
Mm-hmm.
minus tech stuff because you're not there yet, but
Mm-hmm.
start going towards, hey, this is the infrastructure we need. And maybe we start with our training, because then we can implement that with the people that we have here and test it and see
Mm-hmm.
what works. Like there are some really tangible steps you can take and say, hey, this is our number one thing. We're going to do this right now.
Yeah, true. Something that we're working on right now is like probably my step that we've been working on for the last few years is the guy on our staff, Zach. He is in the broker class right now to become the first franchise, but it'll be local, so we'll actually get to kind of test some of that in a scale where I can actually show up and not have to fly somewhere and just show up and say, "Hey, what's up, man? Like, how's it going?"
Yeah.
With regulation, we already know because it's Utah-based regulation, so that's kind of nice.
How nice is that you can actually figure out what leadership looks like without having, you can figure out how you're going to lead differently in a
Mm-hmm.
franchise model.
Yeah, true. No, it's gonna be good. Like we've had it in the pipeline for a while, and then Zach started the broker course like maybe 4 months ago, 3 months ago, and then he's got plenty of sales to make the sales minimum, which is good. And he's been talking to me a little bit more about actually finishing and getting it going, and so I'm excited about that. So yeah, I'd say like I need to I need to accomplish that step and then really kind of keep pushing. I think for me the after reading those two books like I talked about or halfway through the last or the self-deception one, I honestly feel like there's two focuses for me on goals, and one is the national brand. I'd love to like have it so people would know what Fitness Realty is without googling it. That would be kind of cool. And number two is having it be such a huge behemoth capital holding company. And so we're really working both of those fronts, but kind of slowish, you know. Or we're working them as fast as we can go, but those are kind of big, you know. So anyway, those are my 2 cents.
Leadership of self-deception is great book. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
We Stacy and I uses it all the time. So her and I use the book shorthand of, are we in the box? Are we out of the box towards this person and situation?
Mm-hmm.
And am I holding someone in contempt and not acting in an appropriate manner because of that? And like,
Mm-hmm.
so it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. I went through a 2-day Arbinger class like a month ago, and got their like guide and all their material from it, and man, it was exceptional. I want to like continue to showcase that around because I think that for the last 5 years, a lot of the troubles that I've had personally with some of the agents that we have on staff is sometimes like in those books we just see them as an object, and I want to get them gone and make sure they get fired, you know, or have them leave, and instead of me seeing them as people. And so it's interesting to do an introspective look at that stuff.
I will gladly lead any book studies or any crap you want to do. I'm looking at my greatest hits back here.
Nice. That's awesome.
Leadership and self-deceptions on the bookshelf. This now, if you want to transform your culture
Mm-hmm.
and you want to transform how your clients speak about you,
Mm-hmm.
this book is phenomenal. It's called The Power of Moments.
Mm.
Um,
I've never heard of that one.
what it's about. So think back through your childhood
Mm-hmm.
and give me a defining moment in your life.
Let's see. In childhood, like how old do I got to
Oh,
be?
no, not anywhere, but okay, anywhere in the past. So, but I'm just saying if you think back a little bit, like not yesterday, all right,
Yeah.
like think back a bit, defining moment in your life.
I had a really big pivot when somebody bought me an Audible book, and then I started reading books. That
It changed
could be the most recent.
right? Changed your behavior,
Mm-hmm.
changed your actions, changed how you thought about reading,
Mm-hmm.
changed how you learn. Like there's all these positive emotions that you have alongside that really pivotal moment. And it
Mm-hmm.
took one person to create that moment for you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you create those moments for your for faculty, for your agents, and for your clients? So I
Mm-hmm.
know buying your first house is a momentous occasion, and people make it this, and we go to the closing table with a gift, and we hurrah, and we do these really great things, right? But
Mm-hmm.
how do you stand out as providing that moment to them? Like,
Right.
how do you make that even bigger? If you can invest in that moment even more,
Mm-hmm.
make it even more special, how do you do it? Now, and it's not just that. Like, how do you create wins along the way in the process so
Mm-hmm.
that they remember more positives from the process than the negatives? So,
Yeah.
how do
True.
you celebrate the fact that they got a clear to close? How do you celebrate the fact that the house inspection came back way better than we thought it was going to be? Like, how do you create these over the top power of moments and get to them emotionally so that when
Mm-hmm.
they think back, all the negative stuff gets filtered out.
Right.
Right.
Are
And
you saying too that there's something, a hands-on something that he's giving, or
oh,
um,
you could,
but
yeah,
there's something with TJ, his just, the way his energy lights up, when the success comes through, it's clear to close, or I'll tell you what, people feel it all the time.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
he's created a 1 year anniversary, or I'm not sure if the anniversary is on there, but he'll create other ways to celebrate their birthday afterward. And they speak up and
Those
say,
those are all wonderful things. So for like when I hire somebody new onto my team, I meet with them in their first couple of weeks, and we get together and we have coffee and we hang out. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I'm giving recognition, I don't just type up recognition and send it to them in an email. I will do a 2 or 3 minute video and talk about how they've impacted me and my leadership, or how they've impacted our students or impacted their team, and like taking that 2 or 3 minutes out of my day to create a video for them, and then tagging that on to them getting this accolade
Mm-hmm.
creates this moment for them where they get emotionally invested, and it creates a pivot, and you're reinforcing the behavior that you're looking for. They feel good about what you've done for them. Like it's just this bath of um, hormones that
Right.
make you feel good. So how do you create, so for your agents, they just got out of school, how do you create a moment for them?
Mm-hmm.
They have done their first open house and you've debriefed it with them, or they've got their first client and their first buyer or seller's contract, or listing their first home. Like, how do you really make that a standout moment in their career so that they
Mm-hmm.
keep that behavior?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've never thought about it that way.
I think
Um,
TJ's very good to welcome everyone, when minute he signs them on, he sends it to the chat and everybody's welcomed. And I think they feel really good about that. I just think their life then begins, and sometimes they just don't picture real estate being their number one thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, so true.
In real, it's just like you're cultivating your clients over time, right? It's not
Mm-hmm.
about the fact that you reached out to them. It's that you personally acknowledged them and reached out to them, and you worked on that relationship. You weren't trying to sell them a house.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Same thing with your agents. What do they care about? They care about your relationship with them over the fact that they're selling real estate. How many people would stay in your firm and never sell a house? I'm not saying that's what you want in your firm, right?
Right.
You have people that would be in your firm family forever,
Mm-hmm.
not producing.
Right.
But if you have the right relationship, they want to produce for you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I like those thoughts. Let me ask this last one for people that'll watch this, because I have to jump off and host a meeting with my family here in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But the last thought on here, or the last agenda item, is all about being on board, and honestly, it's a lot about what we've talked about with the team is, or the team mentality is to really kind of find out who is willing to submit, or really encourage or grow the company as a whole and as a team, and like I said in the beginning, what I saw in the phase doc when I was young with you, I watched our phase doc prosper, right? Like we always had really nice jets, the inspections were great, we had fun, and that team environment was because everybody wanted the team to do well. And right now in our team, we have people that want to do well, and we have people that are doing well, but we also have people that are very in it for their own ego. And I think that the people, or the way I'm going to start asking people on our team or people that are going to join our team is if they're in it to win it for the team itself, not just for themselves. Because I know that if we can get them to close, they'll definitely make money. They will grow. But if we could actually grow the company itself, then everyone will prosper even more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that the Are You On Board is really for the business partner side. Obviously, it's for, are you on board to see us pull the trigger on a Florida piece of property? Is it you're on board to share the name, put a sticker on your car, like talk about it more frequently with your sphere? Because we do have people on the board right now that are in different states. And so that may be the first step, is to really get them on board to share the message and share the company, to put me in contact with the next broker that's there. And then lastly, with the Are You On Board for our team, and this is part of what I'm going to go in with the team on the team meeting here in a week, is Are You On Board as well there with growing the team itself and helping the boat, or helping the tide rise every boat that's out there with us, not just their own. So anyway, I think we really hit some crucial nuggets here, and so I'm excited to share it with everybody else that's on our board. And also it'll go live across YouTube anyways, just because I always make it public. So I don't know if everybody's cool with that, but I'm cool with that.
Same with me.
Yeah.
I can only get fired once.
Hey, that's funny. Okay, well, I really appreciate both of your inputs, and Rob, I want to just say thank you for sure for being here. I always love hanging out with you, of course, and then I always think that you have really good insight. And then, Mom, real quick, I know I probably don't say it enough, but I'm very grateful that you're here with me and helping run the company, and then really just growing it together, because I always have a great time. So,
Thank you.
yeah, well, love you guys, and thank you so much, and we'll just kick it off for next month.
Carrie, it was so nice meeting you.
Well, it's nice meeting you, Rob.
We need to get together for coffee or something without TJ around, just to do it. So.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she'll fly out to Florida,
I'll be out.
Oh, yeah, come see me.
Yeah,
right?
that'd be fun.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks, y'all.